we are kicking things off with massive shifts in the tech world. Mark Zuckerberg is making a seismic move at Meta, announcing that artificial intelligence is poised to replace large teams, and the company is planning to cut thousands of jobs as they implement an ultra-flat structure based on AI technology. This is a total overhaul of how work gets done, and we dive deep into the implications of this massive restructuring and the staggering investment Meta is making in its AI infrastructure.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the immediate fallout from these massive organizational changes. We're talking about the specific details surrounding the decision to lay off 8,000 employees on May 20, and we investigate what the severance packages will actually look like for the staff affected by Mark Zuckerberg's strategic shift. This isn't just about numbers, it's about the future of employment at Meta. Now, let's switch gears completely and look at the rapidly evolving world of personal technology and privacy. We examine the growing concern surrounding smart glasses and wearable computers, especially as the U.S. Department of Homeland Security proposes deploying them for real-time biometric recognition by immigration enforcement agents. We explore the serious civil liberties questions this technology raises about constant surveillance on the streets of America. And finally, we wrap up with a look at shareholder action and the ongoing tension between technology and privacy. We investigate the recommendation from the ISS urging Meta shareholders to withhold their vote on the management proposal to elect Director Mark Zuckerberg, as well as the broader struggle to keep pace with new technologies that are outpacing our legal frameworks. Stay with us for the full breakdown. Tensions are mounting globally, driven by geopolitical instability in West Asia and the rapid transformation of the tech industry due to artificial intelligence. In a significant move signaling a fundamental shift in its operational structure, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, is preparing to lay off 8,000 employees on May 20. CEO Mark Zuckerberg has announced plans to restructure the entire organization into smaller AI-driven teams. Zuckerberg asserts that AI capabilities are drastically accelerating development, allowing tasks that once required months from numerous engineers to be completed in a week by just one or two individuals. This technological leap is prompting Meta to adopt an ultra-flat organizational structure, assigning only one manager to every 50 engineers, positioning the company for future challenges. This restructuring is framed by Zuckerberg not just as cost-cutting, but as a strategic pivot. The company is investing heavily in the future, spending between $125 billion and $145 billion this year on infrastructure, including data centers, custom chips, and AI model training. Chief Financial Officer Susan Lee noted that this infrastructure spending has nearly doubled year over year, creating a significant imbalance between employee salaries and the budget, which necessitated the layoffs. Investor confidence has been shaken by this uncertainty, reflected in a 6% drop in Meta's shares following the recent earnings call. While Zuckerberg maintains that AI will enhance employee capabilities rather than eliminate them, internal measures suggest a different reality. Meta has introduced the Model Capability Initiative, a tracking tool that records employee interactions like keystrokes and clicks to train AI agents, and AI is now being tested in performance evaluations. These drastic internal changes have resulted in employee morale hitting an all-time low. Meta's new strategy sends a clear message. Success in the future belongs to those adept at collaborating with AI tools. Analysts will closely monitor how this massive investment in infrastructure and the new team architecture will translate into future financial gains for the company. Meta is preparing for a significant workforce reduction, with plans to lay off 8,000 employees on May 20. Reports are circulating regarding the details of the severance packages that will be offered to affected staff, with speculation centering on comments made by Mark Zuckerberg, as reported by the Economic Times. In financial markets, attention is also focused on regulatory frameworks. Analysts are debating whether the securities market code can effectively address existing gaps in stock market regulation. Furthermore, there is notable movement among major investment players, as indicated by BlackRock reportedly taking a U-turn in its strategy to reach investors. Shifting focus in the Indian business landscape is also evident, with observations suggesting a growing reliance on specific entities. For instance, there is discussion regarding why Sanjeev Bikhchandani is now showing increased dependence on Zomato compared to previous focus areas like employment. Equities in India face scrutiny regarding their foundational investment mechanisms. A key question being raised is the potential impact if the 98 million Systematic Investment Plan (SIP) accounts, which power a substantial portion of the Indian equity market, were to cease operations. Beyond corporate news, the automotive sector in India is experiencing growth, prompting analysis into the missing links required to fully capitalize on the ongoing auto boom, particularly concerning first-time buyers and entry-level vehicles. Finally, there is analysis highlighting successful corporate maneuvers, demonstrating that mergers and acquisitions, M&A, do not always result in failures, even when the process is challenging. A recent editorial from the Chicago Tribune's editorial board raises serious concerns about the rapid proliferation of always-on technology, particularly smart glasses, and the erosion of personal anonymity. The piece recalls the concept of being filmed without consent, suggesting that modern technology has created a new, pervasive form of surveillance. Smart glasses, wearable computers offering hands-free access to information via audio, built-in cameras, and artificial intelligence, are presented as convenient tools for users. However, the editorial highlights the potential for these devices to be deployed by authorities, citing a proposal by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to spend $7.5 million next year developing smart glasses for immigration enforcement to facilitate real-time biometric recognition of individuals without legal authorization, prompting comparisons to RoboCop. The concern extends beyond government use. Companies like Meta are rapidly expanding the capabilities of these devices, including the identification of people and instant data retrieval, potentially turning ordinary public encounters into data points for these corporations. The editorial stresses the unknown nature of how this collected data will be used and who has access to the recordings. Civil liberties groups are sounding the alarm, with Nathan Freed Wessler of the American Civil Liberties Union stating that face recognition technology on the streets of America poses a uniquely dire threat to the practical anonymity we all rely on, and is ripe for abuse. While some states, such as California and Illinois, have enacted robust biometric privacy laws, the editorial argues these protections are insufficient. It points out that much of what these devices capture may fall outside traditional privacy definitions in public spaces, and that enforcement is often reactive, meaning harm is done before awareness sets in. The central issue identified is that the technology is advancing faster than existing laws and norms can govern it, allowing surveillance to become quiet, continuous, and scaled. The editorial concludes that while acknowledging the real benefits of the technology, these advantages should not come at the expense of fundamental privacy expectations. The piece concludes with the sentiment that the old phrase, "Smile, you're on candid camera," has transformed into a warning about the current surveillance landscape. In a significant move regarding governance at Meta, the Institutional Shareholder Services, ISS, has recommended that shareholders withhold their vote on a management proposal aimed at electing Director Mark Zuckerberg. This recommendation signals a divergence in shareholder sentiment concerning the proposed board composition. The decision comes following analysis by Market Screener.com, published on May 12, 2026, at 8:02 a.m. EDT. The ISS recommendation is a key indicator for investors weighing their support for the management's proposed leadership structure at the company. This action underscores ongoing scrutiny of corporate governance practices and the balance of power within Meta's board of directors.